Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
15 PCA.
810-454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Lara Croft, Legend of the Tomb Raider. I do mini reviews. You can check those out. They're in the YouTube shorts. Usually about a day or two before I do the long format reviews. So if you want a short review, go watch that. You want the long play-by-play, I go over everything. This is the video for you. This is a little bit, it's not good. It's not a good episode. It's just two lesbians flirting and bickering. They flirt, bicker, flirt, bicker, flirt, bicker, flirt. And that's all it is. And it ends, it's so weird. Oh my goodness, it is so creepy. They did this with Noelle Stevenson's She-Ra Netflix series, where you had Katra and Adora being sisters up to the point they wanted to F each other, and then they became lovers. I'm getting the same feelings with this, where all they do is flirt the whole time, and you think, oh, okay, they're into each other. But then they grew up together as little kids, which is super creepy. Then they throw out a line at the end. She's like, oh, Laura, you're always like a sister to me. What the hell are you flirting with me, you weirdo? It's so weird. Is that a turn on for that segment of human beings where you feel like sisters and then you want to have with each other? It is so weird. It's creepy. I don't like it. Why even have that in here? Ugh, whatever. So we open up, and the last episode, she saw that evil dude had Jonah like under mind control. He combines the stones, and her whole apartment explodes. Like a giant explosion. Zip wakes up Laura, and no one's hurt. That explosion didn't do anything. It would have, at the very least, blew her eardrums out. She would have permanent hearing damage. Because look at the wall. Look at it. There ain't nothing left. Remember the first? it just boggles my mind where they can show like this devastation. So you look outside. It looks like a terrorist attack. People in the streets, people are hurt, people probably died. And this is where this bothers me. Because I saw this on Twitter where someone posted this joke. It's a funny joke where like, oh no, she has to go to, she was like, I have to go chase this guy. He can bind the stones. But I found we have to go somewhere, the worst place imaginable in the world, and it's Paris. Paris is an absolute garbage heap of a place. Especially around the Eiffel Tower. So much homelessness, so many, it's just awful. There's an actual thing. It happens to a lot to Japanese tourists where they see France and they see Paris and the Eiffel Tower is like such a beautiful thing in their mind. But when they get there, they get so depressed because it's filthy, it's disgusting. It is just swarming with street people and it's just awful. So like they get into this funk of depression because of how bad it is. So yes, Paris is truly that bad. But they made that joke. Well, there's people who are dead. They're dying. They're probably picking their dead, charred corpses out of the rubble. And then she's going to make a joke about how crappy Paris is. Am I crazy in thinking that this is so wildly inappropriate? Just whatever. So she goes to Paris, and since it's Paris, you got to parkour. I mean, you don't even take a taxi in Paris anymore. You just parkour everywhere. Parkour. So she's just running around on rooftops for like no reason. What a waste of animation. I guess to show you, look how badass she is, but we already know that. She's having Zip look up this, because the light, there's like this order of the light. And they're going after the guy collecting the stones. He's trying to destroy them. He's trying to destroy it. So like she has two enemies here, but they're fighting each other. But neither of these two people are good. And it's always the same classic, the Templars are evil. The Templars are evil. There's only two evil things that can ever exist in media now. Russians and Templars or Christianity in some way. Always. So she's looking all that up. And she's like, oh, I know somebody there, a contact, and I can look up, because she's like part of like this franchise special, like, I don't know what it is. I know MI6 is British, but I don't know what France has, the super secret guys. So she breaks into this lady's apartment, and they were friends, like they grew up together. And of course, Zip, it has to be that very nosy, very stereotypical gay guy. Ooh, give me the tea. He has to be one of those kind of guys. And she doesn't want to talk about it. But the way he's like, oh, so this was like your lover. And that's what I assumed it was. I just thought, oh, this was like her ex-girlfriend. But they just grew up together as kids. Then they didn't see each other for like whatever 15 years. So it's not like they even dated or anything. They were like little kids, like 7 years old. So what's this whole like, oh, it's weird. They played it off as if they dated and they never did. They were too young. It's gross. So she breaks it. And of course, here's the thing. This is another thing why I thought they really were pushing the lesbian thing. This lady is super into girly things. Very pink. Her laptop's pink. Her house is pink. And Laura's like the butch one. So that's how it always is. And especially in just like modern media, you can never just have two women that are just like, oh, they're women. No, you have to have the one woman who's very strong, very brash. She's the guy. Then you have the girl who's very cutesy and loving and kind, and that's the girl. They even did it in Owl House. Like they took Luce and made Luce is the man of the relationship, and Anime is the girl. It's just weird how they always have to fall into these, even though they're lesbians, they fall into gender roles. And they just perpetuate that. Anyways, that's my observation, whatever. So she's breaking into her computer and everything. And then she's setting fun more about how there was a church that the light was trying to buy. And the pastor guy there didn't want to sell it. So they killed him. And the guy that they killed happened to be the bad guy she's chasing. That was his father. So that's why he hates this whole Order of the Light people. The girl shows back up and it's like, oh, it's you, Laura. Oh, she has the worst haircut ever. I have never seen a human being with this haircut. It's like the side of the head shaved, but there's a braid in it. I've seen people with something close to this, but never a white girl with blonde hair with this kind of, it's weird. It's almost weird Viking, but weird like, it's neo-lesbian Viking haircut. I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. So it's, oh, Laura, it's you. And then they start talking. Then they start flirting like hardcore. You get some flashbacks to when they were little kids. And her dad was Ross, the guy that Laura idolizes, but the guy's a piece of garbage. He's not a good man. But Laura just glazes this guy. Like, it's embarrassing how much she freaking glazes this dude. So she's like, oh, go take a bath. You stink. Because you're the stinky one and I'm the girl and I smell pretty and you're the guy and you stink. Every gender stereotype is here. It's ugh. So we get Laura in the bathtub. She's gorgeous. We get a lot of side boob, a lot of leg, but she's all beat the hell up. And that's kind of, I don't know. That doesn't get me there. It might for some of you people, but I don't like seeing women all beat up. I don't know. Call me crazy. I'm old fashioned that way. But she's talking to her through the bathtub and she's like talking about the light and how they try to take this church from this guy. They were Templars and she knows about this terrorist organization. How does Laura know? And they're just talking and everything. She goes back in there and the bathroom is empty. And I thought, wouldn't it be hilarious if Laura was parkouring through Paris butt-ass naked, just like jumping from rooftops, no clothes on, because there's no way she could have got dried off and put all her clothes on, and but just the visual of that is just so hilarious. But I guess Laura was just timing how long she can hold her breath in her dirty, nasty bath water, because she's like covered in dirt and sweat, and then she, gross. Take a shower first, then take a bath. If you're going to go through the whole thing, bath water with all your dirty, nasty body, it's gross. So Laura really didn't get out. So she starts to get ready and she puts on her old dirty clothes. Gross. I mean, in a, let me say, like an emergency, you got to do a quick bath, but she puts on her dirty, old, nasty clothes. I'm assuming her old, dirty, nasty under things. Nasty, nasty, nasty. So they keep talking and she's like, whoa, she's like, you got to help me out. And she's like, no, I'm going to send my guys in. Laura, you can't do this. But used to be so much fun. When she says this, she's talking about when they were like 7 and 6 years old. Like they didn't even like finish growing up together where they were like teenagers or anything. No, it was like a long, long time ago. So she's like, okay, it'll be just you and me. We'll go there. If we find anything, I'm going to call on my guys. So They get to the church. It's all boarded up and everything. And they're like, why would they buy this church and not even do anything with it? Because they wanted what was in there. They didn't actually care about the church itself. And as she's explaining all this, Laura disappears. I'm like, oh, she's breaking in. What's her face picks the lock, and then Laura jumps in. I was never one to wait. This is when the never-ending flirting happens. They just flirt. They're going around. There must be a secret passage, and Laura just has this magical, her little rock climbing ice pick thingy. It can do everything. I'm surprised it doesn't transform and turn into an airplane at this point. So she can do anything with this. She finds this secret passage, opens it up. They're starting to flirt more. A bunch of like bats and rats go flying everywhere, and flirt. Then they start to argue a little bit. This is when the bickering comes in. So you can only flirt for so much before you start like blaming each other for stuff. They're in an unknown place. They may not have ancient Templar assassin people in it, and they're like, we're gonna split up because I don't like you no more. So they split up. They start seeing all these carvings and basically like the whole history of everything that went down. I guess their explanation is these light people, this Order of the Light, used to be Templars. They started like worshiping this Baphomet, like devil guy, broke away from the church, but then they still like use all the church symbols, but they were like excommunicated, so they were burned at the stake, and like it's really weird. And so I don't even know. There are Templars, but they're not Templars. Whatever. So there was that yellow stone they're looking for. I guess that's what made them go like evil. But then as she's like reading these stories like through like the paintings on the wall, Laura starts like hallucinating, and then she does like, this really cool pose. But it's so cool that it's so cringy that it's cool. Then she's having flashbacks, like she's like living in her memories. And are these real? Like, is this exactly how it went down? Because if it did, I've always, in the original Tomb Raider games, like you always had your butler. He was like your guy. He was your Alfred, right? We see in this memory, so I don't know if it's just true or not, if it's just her just like guiltiness. Oh, Mr. Butler guy, did you get a letter from, what's her name? Sophie? I don't even know what her name is. Blonde girl. No, remember, she hates you. Why? Why would the butler say that? I'm thinking this is just her exaggerated memory. Like, you remember things wrong. I can't imagine he actually said this to her. So she's feeling really sad about that. She's crying. And then like she keeps like going through different time periods in her life. Like she's having a full blown like freak out. This giant like gargoyle monster thing comes at her. She's running away. She's running through her mansion, and she's having memories of things, and she's seeing like visions, and like she sees her death and sees herself like in a coffin. All her friends are there crying and no, you're gonna die. But in the coffin, it's her, like as a kid, like a little kid. So that's even creepier than just dying as an adult. But then it's just like symbolism of like she died when her friend stopped being her friend. Again, like 7 years old, but then they were like in lesbians with each other. It's so weird. She like falls through the sky, and it's really cool. Like she like is like breaking through reality. Sees Ross. She's falling off. This is like from the games. Like if you play the newer games and there's scenes where you play as like young Laura, she has like this pirate ship in her backyard. I mean, that was like the coolest place I'd ever. Man, if I was a kid and I had that, that'd be the greatest thing ever. Anyways, she's like falling, and she's like, Ross, help me. He's like, no, I'm not going to help you. You suck. You're stupid and dumb. And that's why what's her face left, and because you're terrible. And it's so wild. The Ross guy is not a good guy. Again, is this a real memory or not? Is she just remembering like the worst version of what actually happened? But she keeps fading in between like this fantasy and being chased by these monsters. She hides. I do like as she's running away and she's scared, she looks like a little girl. But she's really adult Laura right now. But in her mind, she feels like a little kid. So I kind of like the symbolism. That's pretty cool. Her friend is like, Laura, it's me. I can help you open the door. She's like, no, I'm scared. She hears her friend being attacked, and that like gives her the courage to like, go out there and fight. And these weren't monsters. They were just regular like cult members. But since they like pumped like this nerve gas into the place, that was making them have like hallucinations. Why not just pump in gas that kills them? You know what I'm saying? Why go through this whole like make you see fantasies and stuff? Like, what's the point of that? Why not just have some guns and just shoot these ladies? What an elaborately stupid plan. Anyways, what's her face like gets the things to vent out so they don't get affected by the gas anymore. And I guess they killed all the cultists that were down there. They keep reading. They find she explains to her friend about why what's his face is trying to collect the stones, how they're giving him all this power, how he has a vendetta against these light people because they killed his dad. Then they're like, they were looking for the yellow stone. It's like a stone of betrayal. It's not there. It's like in Syria or something. It's like in Iraq or Syria. So that's their next step. They get back to girlfriend's apartment. They start talking again. And then, Laura, before she leaves, like, why didn't you come with us? Because Laura would go everywhere with Ross and do like adventures and stuff. She's like, why didn't you come with me? And then her girlfriend's like, what are you talking about? I thought you didn't want me to be there. Then they come to the conclusion that it was Ross that lied to both of them. Ross told Laura, oh, your friend doesn't want you here because, she doesn't like roughing it out here. And you're not basically you're not good enough for her to have to deal with all this. So it's kind of your fault. Then she told his daughter that, oh, Laura doesn't want you going around her or anything, doesn't want you around. So she like pitted the two friends against each other. And then they hug and they cry and everything. And that's when the line comes out. Well, Laura, you're a sister to me. I always cared about you. I thought you didn't want me around. So what was all that flirting and all that other stuff? I thought for sure 100% that they dated or they were romantically involved. No, they got to about age 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 years old, never saw each other again. So there was never any like romance. What was all that flirting? It's so weird. And then to drop the line that I'm like your sister. What the hell were you flirting with me then? Oh my God, it's so creepy. What in the world is going on in this show? So like, I don't know. They like have this really weird lesbian handshake. It's cringe. Mega cringe. Then we cut to the guy. He has Jonah with him. And it's just him and Jonah. And they're going to like walk through the desert together. Me and Jonah. Let's go. I don't know. This whole episode was just weird. Why throw in all this weird like, oh, are they lesbians or are they going to kiss? But they make it so obvious that it's not about that. It's about them just being, friends, and being like sisters, basically growing up together. I don't know. Call me crazy that I thought that was just sent all kinds of weird signals. But we paddle along to the next storyline. They just go from place to place and the story moves forward an inch at a time. I don't know. I gave it a 4 out of 10. My mini review hasn't changed since then. I'm going to try to push through this real quick and get through the rest of these probably in the next week or two and just finish this series off. Probably jump over to X-Men, jump back into Amphibia every now and then. But thanks for watching, guys. Share the videos, like them, do all that good stuff. Send me stuff over on Twitter, Discord, all those places are all in the links down below. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one. Crimson's in here. Thanks for watching the video. Remember, liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on the video really helps out a lot. It gets the video spread around more people get to see the videos, and we get to make more videos for you guys. So thank you, and we appreciate every single one of you guys.